That's right, you guessed it, still at TIFF. So the talk of the film festival town overall, not just here in Toronto, but everywhere, is probably The Brutalist, directed by Brady Corbett. Hashtag Arizona's own shout out. Best known for Vox Lux, comes a story about a Hungarian immigrant architect who hopes to rebuild his life and legacy in America. Adrien Brody leads the talented ensemble cast like Guy Pearce, Felicity Jones, and Joe Alwyn, just to name a few. Shot in 70mm, it is 3.5 hours long, but that does include a 15-minute intermission. Hello, intermission. We don't meet often, but let me tell you, I appreciate you. And after premiering at Venice to rave reviews, with some heralding it as the next great American epic akin to There Will Be Blood, I had a chance to see it, and let me not waste any fucking time here, okay? This movie's a lot, right? As one would expect, it's 3.5 hours long. It's a lot. I would love a rewatch on this because, right now, even still as I'm talking, I'm letting it marinate, okay? But one thing that I do not need a rewatch on is Adrien Brody just dropped the Wilt Chamberlain 100 points. Hopefully y'all know me by now. Especially with film festival movies, I don't like to engage in the hyperbole unless I really feel it. But this is one of those times where I can say, not only is this my favorite performance of the year so far, keynote, not only is it my favorite performance of Adrien Brody's career, but this is one of the best performances I've seen this decade. Ask everyone around me when I was coming out of here. The only thing I could think about was Adrien Brody's performance. That's the only thing I wanted to talk about. And I realized that me saying this is setting the movie up and setting Adrien Brody up to be a disappointment. And you very well might find his performance underwhelming. No one can deny that, but I cannot tell a lie. That was incredible. It really has everything. The loud yelling, crying, angry moments that some people look for, the subtle, introspective, somber moments that some people look for, the facial expressions, the different accents it spans through years of time. He is so incredible in this. And I've kind of stopped talking about Oscar prospects in these movie reviews. I talk about that in separate videos just because. But it further illustrates the point that he should win the Oscar for Best Actor. I don't know if he will. Okay, that's a whole nother discussion. But he should. If we fast forward and he loses to a mid-performance, I will scream. I will cause a scene so loud my subscribers in the UK will be able to hear it. He fully embodies the character. I didn't even see Adrien Brody at a certain point. And coming out of Venice, like, while he obviously got raves, I'm actually surprised at the amount that some people praise like other performances, which I'll talk about a little bit. But to me, it is not a competition. I mean, obviously, but it's not even close. He's operating on different levels. So that was my little soliloquy. There you go. Now for the movie The Brutalist, I found it completely riveting. In the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm hooked. The score kicks in, which is a banger score, one of the best scores of the year, if not the best. I have to think about it. And it throws you to follow the life of a man who, even in the first 10 minutes, you could just tell has already been through so much. Not only because of the obvious Holocaust escape, which speaks for itself, but really, like, when he gets to America, you can see the absolute pure joy he has and how much love he has for his cousin who's picking him up. And it continues on his journey to kind of build his legacy, whatever he thinks that is or wants it to be. That's where we spend the majority of the movie. And the thing that's the most interesting about The Brutalist to me is how it centers the movie around him with the people that choose to help him. From his own cousin that helps him get on his feet to an incredibly wealthy family that sees him for his talent and wants to commission him for a job. That's not a spoiler, I promise. But this movie takes an interesting stance of the goal of becoming wealthy and successful and how that can become its own form of oppression in its own right. The very thing that he escaped from is kind of following him in a whole different way here in America. We're taught from a very early age that if you want to make it here, that all it takes is hard work. That in the land of second chances, all you need to do is have the right attitude and work hard, and you can become whoever you want to be. And if I can put it simply, the lasting thing that this movie has really made an impact on me is that sentiment just bullshit? Like, what if you lose the people you care about because you're working so hard? Or what if you lose yourself in your own journey of working so hard to become successful? So what if you accomplish the thing you set out to accomplish? If you kind of ruin your life? I mean, is it worth it? And Laszlo, Adrien Brody's character, is really in a cycle. He escapes from oppression, as mentioned, but he encounters it here in America in a much more sly way. One that will smile to you and help you out, not because they're good people at heart, but just because they know they can and they feel better about themselves. Or maybe it just feels like charity to them and they know that you'll have to owe them later. And Laszlo understands this too. There are moments throughout the movie where he explains that he knows that him and his kind are not welcome here, that he is simply tolerated and exploited. What matters more to you, the journey or the destination? That is the question that's kind of echoed throughout the movie, and it really poses the question back at you at the end. I feel like I'm talking myself more into this movie, goddamn. There's no trailer footage as of when I'm recording, but it's a beautifully shot movie, trust me. It is a technical beast of a movie, a directorial feat for sure. I'll be quick here. Guy Pearce is very good, but I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what it was really hyping him up, but he services the character very well. And Felicity Jones has good moments throughout the movie. She comes in the second half, but I guess I'm the odd one out here because I didn't really care for the wife character that much, and at least how it was written. But, you know, I'm in the minority, I guess. Now, as said, I am still mulling things over. There is a lot of movie in here, and some things I'm still kind of thinking about that didn't really click for me, like the epilogue part of the movie especially. Maybe it's because I'm operating on 2 hours of sleep back on West Coast time, so really it's like 5 hours less than that, but we'll see. Like, I can just imagine general audiences walking out of this movie with a very flat, fizzled out feeling, not only because of the length, but just how it ends. But I'll be damned if this isn't one of the most audacious and bold movies, especially this year. Probably won't be for everyone, and that's okay, but I find myself loving it the more time passes. The Brutalist, 4.5 stars. Okay, good night.